YouTube, what's going on today, man? Listen, I need your full attention. This Mr. Beast thing is getting a little bit out of hand. Now, this whole thing started between him and I when he jumped on a tweet defending Chris Tyson, saying how great of a father he is. Yeah, right, man. But it's Mr. Beast, the philanthropist. Woo! Always looked a little dead in the eyes, if you know what I mean. Now, apparently, this dude had a sex offender working for him for years. On top of Chris Tyson. Included in this YouTube video right here are some horror stories of some of the things some people have been through in his camp. Look, man, I'm going to be real. I don't like the guy. I get the hippie-jibbies just seeing his face, man. And apparently all of this is just the tip of the iceberg. I don't really know, but it's getting weirder and weirder every day. If you like the video, definitely don't forget to like the video, man. Drop a comment down below and give me your thoughts on the situation and what you think will end up happening. And enjoy the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Peace and love, baby. Oh, good morning. Guys, I wake up and there's more. I don't know what to tell you. It's
well,
stinky.
guys, I never thought I was actually going to say this, but it turns out Mr. Beast, a.k.a. Jimmy Donaldson, is a war criminal. He has so casually inflicted psychological torture on an ex-employee that he literally breaks down crying while trying to recount details. Forget about Ava Chris Tyson. This is not even related anymore. This is about Jimmy as a person and how terrible he is. Because Ava truly was the tip of the iceberg.
Not Ava! It's Chris.
The highest ranking members of Mr. Beast YouTube LLC for a long time was a known criminal on the sex offender registry. His criminal record states that the person he did these things to was extremely young. We're talking under 13 years old, and he was only fired recently with allegations that Mr. Beast YouTube LLC is trying to clear his name from public record. Because of course, they don't want this to bite them in the ass. Things are getting extremely serious. Let's talk about it. After uploading the first video, which was I Worked for Mr. Beast, He's a Fraud, the much anticipated sequel has finally come out, titled I Worked for Mr. Beast, He's a Sociopath. In it, we see Jake Weddle being interviewed, a stand-up comedian who used to work at Mr. Beast YouTube LLC during 2019 and 2020 as a writer and someone who appeared in the video sometimes. Like in this video, destroying my friend's car and surprising him with a new one. As you can see, he's right here, and he was one of the people who got his car destroyed, and it was meant to be a surprise. Like, oh, they're about to come out, they're gonna see this huge rock on the car, they're gonna think it's a meteor. He knew about it, by the way. This is when things would start to go from real videos to more staged and fake videos. According to him, of course. Now what happens next is that he notices that he's barely making any money compared to how much the videos are generating. And he talks about the political nature of Mr. Beast YouTube LLC, how if you were on Jimmy's good side and you praised him and you stroked his ego, you'd appear in videos more and he would give you random bonuses.
I mean, naturally.
But when you were on the bad side, and Jake Weddle was on the bad side, you would get nothing. He would be in videos all the time, but he would then get edited out of the videos most of the time. He tells this to another writer that he really likes on the team, like, hey, you know, maybe we could negotiate a little bit, we can let them know about how we feel, etc., etc. The other writer was reluctant, but Jake convinced him. They both go and try to negotiate, or at least argue their case, and they immediately just are told, well, cool. The next day they show up, they're fired. Of course, Jake breaks down crying here because he didn't want the other writer to lose his job because he loved his job. But that was the nature of the workplace known as Mr. Beast YouTube LLC. He'd start working there in 2019 and was fired in 2020. He was actually very happy to be fired. He mentions how different Jimmy was off camera, how he had only one thing on his mind, to be the biggest YouTuber, and has no sense of any human empathy. When he would be giving people...
I'll say this guy Beast in the eyes, it looks a little spacious, you know? He don't really look like he's all there. Got these dying eyes, you know? Like there's just no life in him, man. I mean, seriously. And like, look, as far as creators being different on and off the camera, absolutely. A lot of these nerds are simply that, nerds. They don't go outside, they don't talk to anybody, they don't shake hands, okay? So if and when they're out there, they don't even look you in the face 90% of the time, man. They're totally different. They talk different, they walk different, they act different, absolutely. Now this guy... Same one, brother. Same one. Only difference is that 5'4" stuff you read online ain't true. I'm 5'11" and 3/4.
Life-changing amounts of money, he'd be hoping that they cry, being like, yes, please cry. It would be so good if you cry. It'll be so good for the video. Almost like nothing he was doing was real. Jake moves on from this, and by 2021, he had moved to New York to work on his stand-up comedy career.
He's giving a homeless guy money. He's like, yeah, cry.
Mr. Beast YouTube LLC.
It's making the Meat Canyon video like real.
In which he pitched an idea for a video he'd be starring in. According to him, the pitch made it seem like it was going to be paradise. It was going to be very simple. You're just going to sit in this room, chilling, on vacation. You have an ice cream machine. You have a bed all to yourself, a bathroom, everything you need, really. All you have to do is survive in this room for 100 days. And even better, every single day you sit there, you get $10,000. Only the last 5 days are going to be hard. You know, you're going to be tortured a little bit, but otherwise, easy. Now, what many people don't know is that this video wasn't released, and it was a testing ground for the video that did release starring Jimmy called I Survived 50 Hours in a Maximum Security Prison. Actually, what's even more interesting and wasn't mentioned as far as I recall in the video from DocPack was that the same set, the same exact room where they put Jake was used in the video. $10,000 every day you survive prison.
Like a test rat.
Jake has given us pictures, and as you can see, it's the same exact set. And here's Jake himself. Jake says that while it may look cute on video, the facility had a lot of problems. The hot tub had no filtration system, so it would smell after 3 days. The ice cream machine's dairy was very strong, so it would also be very smelly. This room had a septic tank. That was its plumbing system, so that also was smelly. Overall, it wasn't a very nice room to be in. He was cut off.
And I went to boot camp. Shout out to all the people that serve this country. I mean, like, if you've been to boot camp, you did that and some for at least 2-3 months, man, you know?
From human contact, but the worst part was that they would not turn off the fluorescent lights. And he had no source of sunlight, no windows. He could not sleep. Imagine being in a room, right? A smelly ass, small, stupid room, and you have no sense of time passing. You have no idea how long it's been, the sunlight, the moon, nothing, zero. This is what solitary is. It's meant to be torture. He wouldn't be able to fall asleep, and he was expected to do daily challenges almost. Because guess what? The cameras were rolling 24/7. He had to be entertaining. He had to make jokes. He had to look at the camera and say things. You'd know what I'm talking about if you watched the Mr. Beast video before. He of course complained about this, right? It's hard not to complain when you can't sleep. It's one of the worst things on the planet. And staff wouldn't budge. He'd get visited by editors sometimes, and they'd joke around saying, wow, man, you know, everything okay? This footage looks horrid. It seems like you're going through a really rough time.
Hold on. Let me read this real quick. If we need a store to buy everything inside of, and you call a Dollar Tree, and the person that answers says, no, you can't film here, that doesn't mean shit. Oh, talk to the other employees and see if they are fans, or if they have any kids that are fans. Try talking to their boss. Damn, have them DM on Twitter and try their social media team. If all other avenues are exhausted, you are left with a no. That doesn't mean don't try the other Dollar Trees, because the manager of those could be huge fans and willing to bend the rules. Woo!
Yeah, no shit. The guy can't sleep. Jimmy shows up, asks, hey, why is he sleeping? And staff says, oh yeah, he's having a hard time sleeping. And Jimmy says, well, wake him up. He pulls 2 briefcases and says, hey, we have 2 challenges today. You want to find out what they are?
This guy don't like him,
Jake
for sure.
At this point is sleep deprived. He's like, oh, hey, what are the challenges? Jimmy says, well, the first one is a Rubik's Cube. Jake says, there's no way I can do this. I'm dyslexic. It's going to be very embarrassing. I can't do it. Jimmy cuts the persona completely and looks at him and says, come on, just do it, you know, for the challenge, for the video. Come on.
Those eyes, man. They're the kind of eyes that look like they would, like, pick apart an ant or something, you know? Like, as like an 8-year-old, he just pulled the little legs off or something. I'm just saying.
Jake manages to avoid it, but then the second challenge was running a marathon on a treadmill.
Boy, look like
by that point, Jake knew he couldn't just say no. He was going to be forced to do it, so he did it. No practice beforehand, by the way, no preparation. He had just woken up, and he is sleep deprived.
Wait a minute, bro.
At this point, Jake knew he couldn't just say running a marathon.
Hey, he does kind of look like the Grinch. Or like one of the people in the Grinch movie.
On a treadmill. And by that point, Jake knew he couldn't just say no. He was going to be forced to do it, so he did it. No practice beforehand, by the way, no preparation. He had just woken up, and he is sleep deprived. And according to him, he ended up running from 12 to 3 a.m. I don't know whether it was 12 p.m. or 12 a.m., but regardless, 3 or 9 hours, regardless, right? You're making someone sleep deprived and solitary run for 3 hours. 9 hours is a war crime for sure. He was allowed to take
Wait, 3... Was that math? Was that math?
breaks, but by the end of it, his feet had massive blisters. I don't even want to know what they actually looked like, but it was probably horrifying. And now, other than Ava Chris Tyson being an absolute disgusting weirdo, we now know that someone who used to work there as a high-ranking manager was on the sex offender registry. The dude even appeared in videos and for some reason, right, some reason, chose to put on a mask. I wonder why he's trying to hide his identity. His charge is from the state of Delaware.
What?
The victim's age is from 1 to 11 years old. That is ridiculously young. And his charge is 4th degree sexual intercourse. Victim less than 18 years old. The excuse of, oh, I didn't know, doesn't pass now, Jimmy. This is ridiculous. By the way, you know how Mr. Beast has this philanthropic project called Team Seas where he clears oceans and seas and beaches of trash? Well, it turns out he left heaps of trash during the filming of a video near a body of water.
At the end of that video, he actually says,
And if you're wondering, yes, we did ensure the lake was completely cleaned up after this video.
DocPack ended up emailing the site in which Mr. Beast filmed, and they confirmed that he did indeed leave a lot of trash in this area. Interesting. The video ends with Jake crying, but this time thanking DocPack profusely.
Yeah, I mean, look, anybody that believes that he just does all of this out of the goodness of his little heart is crazy. There's definitely going to be a blend. But it seems like the more we learn, the more we know about this guy and his business and everything that he does, that blend's getting crazier and crazier, man. You know what I mean?
Profusely for finally letting him talk about this. Something that he's been hiding inside of him for years. Not just out of fear of repercussion from Mr. Beast and his company, but also because he doesn't want his friends to lose their jobs. This isn't just some other controversy anymore. People's lives are at stake here. The Beast games right now that are going on with Amazon already are threatening people's very existence. And Jake showed us that this isn't the first time Jimmy has done this. We need answers and we need changes now because this is unacceptable. Anyway, thank you for watching. It's 7 a.m. right now. I'm about to upload this video. I'll see you in the next one. I think I need a vacation.